Hello and welcome to Nick V Uncensored. Today we've got Ian Clark, and today we're going to be talking about how the deep state has caused apathy about taking care of our healths. Ian, thank you so much for joining me. How are you, and what have you been up to?
Well, I've been up to many good things. It's always a continuous unfolding and discovery of more and more truth every single day, literally.
Yeah,
So, in the last month, a lot of things have come to light since the last time we spoke that we can get into.
absolutely. Now, very interesting. Now, I want to read out the message that you sent me before we started the show. That you want to stress to the viewers because you think it's very important and serious, and it goes something like this. That the mainstream media and deep state has caused apathy about taking care of our healths. The paradigm is to wait till something comes up and then deal with it. Reactive instead of proactive. The other issue is that when people have a health crisis, then they deal with it. They don't continue to take care of themselves. They just wait till the next crisis and then hope there is a magic pill or potion that they can take to fix it. This is a rinse and a repeat problem that costs our society billions of dollars and never need to be spent. It's and never need to be spent. Yeah, it's all reactionary, not proactive. This is because of the insane mind control operations that are going 100% of the time. This is why billions of people are like this. Okay, let's expand on that. What is it? Obviously, if we can expand on that, Ian, what is it exactly here that you want to say?
Well, first of all, we have to shatter that paradigm completely because we this is generational downloads. This is all through the generations, our grandparents, our parents, and then ourselves are taught that this is the way things are. You're given a body that's very fragile. Genetically, you might be more prone to cancer or heart disease or Alzheimer's, dementia, or strokes or diabetes or whatever. I mean, the lists are endless. And that is absolutely the first lie that we're told because we are uniquely individual. And then we're told, hey, you got to give responsibility for your health to the authorities, to the doctor, to the dentist, to whoever, some authority that's going to save you when you get ill, because you're going to get ill.
Hmm.
And so you expect to have a health problem. Look at the mainstream media. It's pumping out nonstop advertisements for drugs. And drugs are nothing but poison. Now, we all know that when people don't have anywhere else to go and they go to the doctor and the doctor helps them and gives them a drug and they can stay alive, but who wants that?
Yeah.
What if you could find out how to take care of your body, which we know is now true? I'm just saying, what if, right?
Hmm.
When you find out you can take care of your body proactively and never get sick, never sit around waiting for some crisis to pop up, where you've created a daily routine where you're always consistently maintaining the body that God gave you, which is your biggest, most valuable asset by far, way more valuable than all the physical assets in the world, or all the money in every bank account, or every cryptocurrency, or any gold that's ever been purchased and stored up, which is all valuable. Your body is infinitely more valuable than those things. And yet, we don't take care of our bodies properly, proactively, for the most part, like what I've seen, because I'm exposed to tens of thousands of people all the time.
Hmm.
And I even see in our realm where we're in the health space, like the proactive health space, and people are still only dealing with stuff as it's coming up instead
Yeah.
of consistent daily regimen and routine and making sure that you're supporting your body's ability to get healthy and stay healthy. And you're not having to think about it all day because it's just taken care of.
I think we're programmed from kids because we wasn't taught at school to have a routine for our healths. We get ill. We're in this habit where we don't appreciate what health is and we don't appreciate our healths. until we get ill.
Right.
And then all your problems disappear, except that's the only problem you've got is your health. And people realize this only when they get really, really ill. And that even, it doesn't matter how rich you are, you don't even have the money to get better once it's too late. So is there what you say that, you say that there is no way, you can have a routine and you never get sick. But to some people listening to this, they think, how can that be? Can you explain that?
Yeah, well, your body is designed to be healthy. And if you think that, oh, well, if I get a cavity, I got to go to the dentist and get a filling. Okay, that's the first mistake. Number one, you should never get a cavity once you know how to take care of your dental situation. And you and I have spoken about this before. You get Solaris, put it in your toothbrush. This is a simple example. Solaris in your toothbrush. Every time you brush your teeth, you have Solaris on the toothbrush. Once a day, you get a little capful of perfect iodine, put it in your mouth and swish it for 30 seconds only. And you removed all the bacteria with both of those things that causes tooth decay and that causes plaque. Voila. Okay. You can use whatever toothpaste you want. That's fine. I'm talking about adding something so simple because people use toothpaste all the time and they floss all the time and they're always going to the dentist. They're always getting decay. They're always having problems. And the dental industry is another one of those things. Okay. That you should never have to go to the dentist, like literally never. Now, I know dentists don't want to hear that. Of course not. That industry depends upon people's ignorance of being conditioned to expect tooth problems, gum disease, expecting it because everybody gets it. So that means there's something extremely wrong with how we've been conditioned and how we think. So when you break out of that mind control thinking and you realize that you can actually take action, it's one thing for me to tell you to take action, but if I don't tell you what the actions to take are, because we've spent the millions upon millions of dollars in decades researching what to do to simplify and clarify these things, then it wouldn't do you any good. But now we have the solutions. We have the answers. So people who are listening to these broadcasts are people who actually care. That's why you're here, because you actually care. And Nicholas, the reason you do what you do is because you really do care about people. The reason that I do what I do, because I actually care about people. I care about myself. You care about yourself. That's why you show up so well, because you actually take care of yourself. You've learned. You had to learn. Look what you're all about shattering paradigms, piercing the veil, getting to the truth, like exposing the lies that are endless.
Absolutely.
And so, right, we want to rise above it. This is what this is all about.
I go to the dentist actually every 3 to 6 months, and I have a hygiene clean. And they check my teeth and my wisdom teeth at the back. Apparently, I've got 4 to 5 mil pockets, and they're saying that you got to keep that brush got to get in between and stuff like. And I get lazy. I'm going to be honest. I get lazy, Ian. Right? I brush my teeth twice a day. But when it comes to flossing, I will floss, of course, when there's food stuck there. But I get lazy, okay? But what do I do? Or are they? What's going on there? There has to be a solution to this. I don't know what because we're supposed to eat, and we're supposed. It's natural to eat. So how is that causing me gum disease?
Yeah, no. The reason that the gum disease can be there, and the reason you get pockets, is because you're not dealing with the bacteria. There is bacteria that's very real, and it likes to feed on acidic environments and all that kind of stuff. The simple solution is you take, especially for that with the wisdom teeth pockets, you put Solaris directly on your finger and just massage it in once a day. It's that simple. But even if you don't do that and you make sure it's on your toothbrush, it goes everywhere.
Right.
And it goes right in between the teeth. I need to do this. Into the pockets. It will literally, okay, and I'm not going to make a medical claim here, but I'm going to tell you what we have seen happen, feedback from our clients, okay? I've spoken directly with people who have had an abscess. Now, you know that an abscess means antibiotics, it means root canal or extraction.
Hmm.
That's what it means. That's in the dental world. They take Solaris and they massage it into the gum where it's all swollen and red and inflamed. And they keep doing that on each side of there, inside and outside. And 2 weeks later, there's no more abscess. Now, can I say, oh, well, we have a double blind placebo controlled randomized study that guaranteed it? No, I'm just telling you, this is anecdotal feedback that we see. So people can do, you can't hurt yourself doing it. And Solaris is super good for your body internally, just drinking it in water. Right.
Yeah.
So this is a major thing. Like Solaris to me has been the most wild ride. When I was first told about it in 2016, I was very skeptical because the person who was telling me it did this huge long list of things.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that's the biggest red flag. Because anything that does that much, I doubt it, right? Sounds like way too good to be true.
Yeah.
So I bought a few thousand bottles over the 4-year period from the very key supply. This is before we started actually bringing it into Canada and blending it in Canada. And I put it out to our network because I know so many people. I just started giving it out to see what the feedback was. And it totally blew my mind. Like, are you kidding? It actually did that? Okay. And we found out that everything on the list that I was told that it did, it actually did. But that's my experience. That's not yours.
Mm-hmm.
I had to go through that to believe and to know that I knew, not just have faith. Okay, you got to see it. And then since 2020, we've been putting it out. Now we have tens of thousands of people giving us all this feedback. So we're talking millions and billions of people need to know how to take care of the dental. That's just one part of your body. You know,
it's very important,
right?
Because it dictates the gut. It starts the mouth. Yeah.
Well, every tooth, and of course, people will go, "Oh, that's like woo." No, it's not. There's been cadavers tracing meridians and the nervous system going from the tooth to different parts of the body. Each tooth is correlated to each organ function. It is called systemic dentistry. So your dental health is paradigm. And this is the best example because people always are worried about, well, I got a toothache or I got a decay or a tooth broke or I got a crack or, it's endless. And none of those things should ever be happening. Your wisdom teeth are the most important in your mouth.
Yeah.
And, if they were trying to pull them, wow, you want to avoid that unless it's life and death because there's so many nerves back there, right?
They even said there was a study where apparently they found that wisdom teeth have stem cells in them that is able to cure many, many, many diseases. Okay. And obviously I don't know how true this is, but who knows? I mean, that's why why do they take them out? Well, take your wisdom teeth out. What are they doing?
It's like automatic.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're saying that Solaris, if I use Solaris on a toothpaste, on my toothbrush, once a day or twice a day, brush my teeth, you're saying that it will take out all the bacteria out of my gums and the pockets, and then what will happen is that my gums will then fill out the area again.
Right. Yeah, they should be perfect pockets. A perfect relationship between your gums and your teeth, a perfect relationship between your teeth and the jaw. Because what happens is bacteria can go down in there, get into your bloodstream, go down into the root, cause abscesses, cause all kinds of other problems where people end up with root canals, okay. They just got to educate themselves. They can go and look at the documentary called The Root Cause. So mainstream dentists would say, oh, that caused so many problems because people saw that. But that's mainstream. Mainstream dentistry they are dumbed down by the institutions that taught them the things that are not true, saying that amalgam fillings are safe, right? Saying that root canals are an answer when you're leaving a low-grade infection on the connection to the meridian from then on. It's like there's so much deception there. So it's not that the dentists are intentionally deceiving. They're not doing that, but they are taught deceptive information and they believe that's true.
Yeah.
So this is really what we're talking about. It's breaking through and realizing, hey, you can actually be perfectly healthy and you can take control and you can invest in your own body. And it's affordable time, energy, effort, and money, totally affordable. And you are going to spend so much less energy and time and effort and money on your health once you take control of it. Otherwise, what is going on right now? You know, the pharmaceutical makes trillions of dollars a year off of the people's ignorance.
Well,
And drugs are
doctors,
poison.
the doctors. My cousin's a doctor, and I had a kind of controversial conversation with her, and she agreed. Medical school, they are not taught any, nutrition. They're not taught how to cure, how to get rid, nothing like that. It's all about the treatment, the drug, the synthetic drug that has a patent, which one to apply to which disease and the dose. And this, that's what they learn. They don't learn about nutrition, vitamins. They don't go into that. I don't know why. I mean, obviously I do know why, because it's political. There's no money in the cure. The money is in the medicine. The money is in the drug dealing. It's a drug dealing company. That's what it is. But you're saying that you've got a solution here that gets rid and reverses these problems. Although it's a lot cheaper and it's very affordable, it stops the escalation to an expensive health cost in the future.
That's the thing. So, and I'm proof of it. So I'm in 16 months, I'm going to be starting my 70th year on this earth, right? Everything's old. That's old. It's not old at all. Age is only about either accumulation or clearance. So the longer you're alive, if you let things accumulate, they build up and you get disease. If every single day you're clearing your system, disease can't show up. So I started at 46, totally accumulated with a big tumor that formed in my perineum, heart disease, and then my liver was off the rails. Okay. How did that happen? And how did it go from 46 years old, being told that I need all the drugs, all the surgery, all the treatments, all the BS, to having absolutely freaking out, looking at the doctors going, you guys don't know what you're doing. You're going to kill me, right? Not being paranoid. I watched them do that with my uncles when I was 20. I saw them get diagnosed, and within 1 year, they were both dead, okay, not alive. One at 51 and one at 54. And that was not going to happen with me. It was 2004, not the dark ages of 1978. So I knew there had to be something out there that was different. And then they call it alternative. Well, I'll tell you what's alternative is when people give somebody a drug that has multiple side effects. That's the alternative, because the real thing doesn't have side effects. I have not touched a single drug in the last 22 years. I stopped going to the doctor 100%. I'm not against going to the doctor. No, people can go to the doctor. But why? What are you going for? What is the reason? You must have a reason. And if you have something that is very, very dangerous that suddenly came up because you didn't know how to maintain your body, you got to go to the doctor. If you're in an accident, you need that help. You need to be in the hospital. Okay, I get that. What I'm talking about is your day-to-day to day. How is it possible that for 22 years, I am now beyond healthier than I ever dreamed possible? Every system is working beautifully. I hardly have to do anything to maintain my health now because I learned. Because when I first started, I had to do everything, spend $1 million and all this ridiculous stuff because I didn't know what I was doing. But I was trying. I was open and willing. So today it is super efficient. And this is the message for everyone who wants to do this. Even if it's only 1% of the world population, they say that would be 80 million people. Now, have you counted the number of people on the earth? Because I haven't. But we're told there's 8 billion. Maybe there is. But let's say there is, just pretending. So that means that 80 million people is 1%. How many people have you found who are willing to step up, take control, and maintain their own bodies 100%?
Yeah, it's very, 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 very rare, of course, because you have to have a lot of self-awareness to be able to
Mm-hmm.
recognize that there's a problem. This doesn't just take, it takes a lot of mental and physical self-awareness. And
Yes.
also you have to have the discipline that goes with it, because you can have the self-awareness, but then you have to apply it. So when you filter those layers through, of course, I think the number is very, very, very small, and that's what makes you stand out. That's what makes you different. And when you operate like that, you inspire others because people get inspired by discipline. Absolutely. Let me ask you, what are the most important elements that people need to add in their routine every day so that they never get sick, that you would like me to share with the viewers today? Um, um, that which ones that they could introduce in their routine every day, Ian?
Well, it's very simple. And so I was shown all these things over the last 22 years to be able to distill down, letting the cream rise to the top. What are the most essential things that the body requires? And that is you have to be mineralized. That means you need all the very specific elements. You have to be detoxed. That means your body, you're not going to go some radical detox, gentle detox every single day. And then you have to have the proper nutrients coming into your system that give you the ability to deal with the free radicals. And you got to be able to build your body. So you got to clean your body out, repair the damage that has happened to you that was you didn't realize was going on, that's happening with everybody. Then you have to make sure that your elements are for body communication. And then you have to have the nutrients coming in that are healthy for you, because there's a whole ton of nutrition out there in the wrong form that will damage your body. So, number one, absolute essential, perfect iodine. It's in the right form at the right dose. That brings in an element that does so many different things for your endocrine system, your digestion, your metabolism, your brain power, your body intelligence, and cellular communication. That's just an automatic. And you got to go and get selenium at the health food store and make sure you're getting 200 micrograms a day. You need to be putting magnesium in through your skin, which is ease magnesium. That means that geographically it's going from your neck down to your feet. That brings your nervous system the fuel it needs to work properly, allows your muscles to be in a relaxed state, allows your autonomic nervous system to be dialed in. Absolutely essential. Solaris, so simple. On your toothbrush, in the water before you go to bed at night. That's the most gentle way to keep all of the microbial population that harms you out of the picture and make sure your body is able to efficiently detoxify itself, eliminating those things that are taking you slowly down. Then you become slowly increasing. The difference between going slowly down and slowly up in 10 years is like a skyscraper, even though it's just a little bit every day. Right. And then the sea minerals, the Restore Ocean Mineral Extract, which has no microplastics, no heavy metals, but it gives you the full spectrum of those electrolytes that hydrate your body and support your entire overall central nervous system and your brain power. So these are the things, like just boom, 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 boom,
Yeah.
and you're in. You got 4 simple things you can do. It literally takes a couple of minutes a day to make sure that that's in your routine. And you mentioned earlier what type of person you need to be is a determined person who has persistence. You're consistently showing up. You really know how important you are, that you actually matter maximum on this earth. And it doesn't matter what the circumstances or the society is pressuring you. You are extremely valuable and extremely important to be here. And while you're here, you need to be fully high vibe. So, and having fun too, right? In spite of all the challenges.
Absolutely. No, of course. I'm going to leave the links below in the description so the viewers can have access to these elements. And Ian, is there something, like a discount code that we could share, or I think there's an automatic discount for the viewers specifically, to make it even more affordable than what it is already? Can you speak on that, please?
Well, right now it's just the time of year. We have a Valentine's sale that ends on the 14th. But if people, miss that window, they can use the NIC 20, NICK 20 code, and that will get them the discount that they need, because we want them, we definitely want people to be able to afford these things. These are already very affordable compared to anything else out there. And there's a million things that you could do people are just hammered by the most slick marketing out there for stuff that make you think you need them, but they're really a waste of money. And you just need the core foundational things. If you want to have those other things and try them out, perfect. So long as you're not compromising yourself by missing out on these extremely important must-haves.
Very well said, Ian. Thank you very much for that. I'm going to leave the links below in the description. And I would really love for the viewers to leave your comments below in the description as well, and even reviews on, and contact Activation Products, Ian's company, and leave your testimonials and tell us how it's helped you and your life or your loved ones, etc. Would love to hear your stories. Ian, thank you very much, and we'll speak again very soon. You take care.
Thank you, Nicholas. My pleasure.